An entire nation of people are saying they very quiet lady, very well brought up, very respectable person. And I was the other black person. I was the only English-only clerical in the office. So I'm black and I'm English only. And I had a very pro-French supervisor, a very pro-French assistant supervisor, and a very pro-French deputy supervisor. And I was the lowest of the low. You can't get lower than CR2. There's nothing lower in the government. Not even the janitor is lower. So there I was working, and over the course of 3.5 years, they really made my life very miserable. And I often went to work with high blood pressure in my 30s. And I often went to work and left work angry. I remember one day standing on the sidewalk at Elgin and McLaren shaking. And I said, Lord, you need to help me. And I walked across the street, and as soon as my feet touched the other sidewalk, all of the shaking stopped. And I turned around and I looked back at my building at 301 Elgin Street, and I said, God, you got to help me. I cannot stay in that place like this. I said, the amount of pressure I'm under from all sides, constantly being watched. And you know, I was not a person in support of the union, and every strike I busted through the lines, climbed through windows to get to work. I said, I have a family to feed. I can't live on $12 a day or whatever strike pay was. And I said, I'm not doing that. You're crazy. I had a mortgage. I had a car. I had 2 children. I had a wife. I had a ministry. I was hated inside, outside. I took on biker gang leaders who were muscle for the union right on the doorstep, and I didn't care. Because all I saw was my family and my babies, right? And one day while I was working in the office, my bosses having conspired some very bad things against me. I was very angry when I became aware of it, and I was walking around my boss's desk to do some work, and while I walked by, I just stared and glared at her. Publicly, in front of me, she seemed threatened by that, but privately it was a big joke. And as I went into the area where I was working, the Lord said to me, you know, I actually first said, Lord, what am I to do? I'm so angry. He said, just ignore them. I said, I can't ignore them. There's no way to get to the area where I work but by walking literally between the supervisor and the assistant supervisor every single day. They talk about me behind my back. They pretend to be my friends to my face. And in that friendship, then they triple my workload. They give me no help when I go on vacation. Don't care and ignore them. I wrote maybe 5 songs at work, performed them in a concert. The triple work was the mail clerk. So for 2 floors, I delivered the mail to every person's desk. And to 3 divisions, public health nurses, my division, which was immigration, in your urinal doctor's remarks to be attached to those files and then put in their appropriate place. These were thousands I had, and I know. And they realized I could do it while the other stuff piled up, and that cannot pile up. So they gave that to me to do, and I did it happily, just typing as I went. And then at the end of the day, I'd work another hour and a half overtime without pay to get the other stuff done. Or it said, go with them,